climb this fire, I will stand tall. This deep desire, I'll never fall. Hear the crowd get loud, fire in my veins as the clock is ticking down. It's game time now.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Bears Sports Network here on BTV, Peter Mazzucaro Field, on this homecoming Saturday as the Bridgewater State Bears get ready to face the Worcester State University Lancers. My name is Luke Mansfield, alongside me Zach Silvio. And these two teams both looking for a win in conference play. Worcester State 2-1 in the MASCAC. The Bears sitting at 1-1. After their 41-0 win last week against Framingham. Zach, that was a good game. We saw them rotate quarterbacks. Jaden Moseley and Jack Renaud split every other drive. But today we got confirmation it will be Moseley, the QB1, going forward.
Yeah, Moseley last week throwing for about 139 yards. Yeah, just looked way more efficient out there on the field and a lot more scoring drives.
Yeah, 7 for 11 with a touchdown. Graduate of the M2 QB Coaching Academy, Bridgewater State alumni. Mike McCarthy runs that. Very big in the quarterback coaching world. He's worked with a lot of Division I NFL players, and he's working with Bears true freshman Jaden Moseley this year. Of course, like you said, Moseley a lot more productive, a lot more efficient, and one thing we didn't see during the game last Saturday was his ability to use his legs. Jaden Moseley, a very athletic guy, but really didn't have to showcase his ability to scramble, so that bodes well for the Bears because Worcester State doesn't have that on film. He's appeared in 2 games. He hasn't had to leave the pocket either time.
No, he has not. And as we saw, they were actually able to move the ball through the air, which we, in those first couple of games, we saw that they weren't able to do that. So putting him into the game opened up the air attack.
Yeah, the Bears do get a lot of work on the ground. Trevor Nunes, 121 rushing yards and a pair of touchdowns last week. Led the Bears team, outside of quarterbacks, of course, in total yardage and scoring. Nick Canales, a big player to mention. D3Football.com's Defensive Player of the Week. MASCAC Defensive Player of the Week as well. He had 8 tackles, 4 sacks, and 4.5 TFLs. Then Shane Drake, the Special Teams Player of the Week for the 5th time in his career. So the Bears had a very promising, strong performance last week that they can take and build on into this game here. And, of course, you and I talked about this earlier. The starting quarterback, Ayoade, for Worcester State, he's out this week. He got hurt in the first half of their game at Westfield State last weekend. Parker Hardesky had to come in and take over. He'll be the one starting under center this week. Worcester State 2-2 on the season, 2-1 in the MASCAC. 197 total yards against Westfield State last week. Not great, and that includes negative 14 total rushing yards, which is obviously not ideal. Then even Manuel Freitas, 0 for 3 on field goals. This was a close game for a while, and Worcester State was up by 2 scores going into the half. They ended up losing 35-27 to Westfield State after a last-second touchdown by the Owls put them over the edge. Despite the loss and letting up 34 points, Worcester State forced 4 turnovers last week, which is a really impressive number to not get the win with. They did have 2 themselves. The Bears last week actually got their first interception of the season. It took them a little bit, but Greg Dimitri, the senior linebacker, was able to get a pick on Trevon Fields last week. First interception for his career and first for the Bears this season. Those aren't bad numbers at all.
No, they're not. And as we talked about last week, their struggles in the second half, we didn't see that against Framingham State, so hopefully they can come into this game and be successful both halves.
Lancers just won the coin flip. They've elected to receive the opening kickoff. Not really a typical call that you see, but on Bears homecoming as the away team, they will elect to receive the opening kick from Shane Drake. We're going to cut over to the national anthem, and we'll be right back.
For the singing of our national anthem being performed this afternoon by BSU music major Carolyn Smith.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red flamed, the bombs bursting in aim, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That was really good.
That was fireworks going off in the background as we're about ready to get things underway here on homecoming. The Bears and Worcester State getting ready to face off. Bridgewater 26-11 all-time versus the Lancers, 12-7 at home. The first time these two teams met, 1986, which was a 20-13 win by Bridgewater. They faced each other every season since. Last time out, Bears post a 35-7 victory on the road. James Cahoon 15 of 19, 251 yards and a touchdown, while Mac Driver and Adam Couch ran the ball well on the ground for a combined 135 yards and a couple touchdowns as well. Of course, all 3 of those players we just mentioned, gone. Under center now, like we said, Jaden Moseley in the backfield. Trevor Nunes, you'll see some Isaiah Wright. You might see some Zy'Kie Askew as well. The Bears have won each of the last 5 meetings in between these two teams. And get this, Zach, 17 of the last 18. So this is a very one-sided rivalry in recent years. Obviously, this is an interesting year for the Bears team, as you don't have your quarterback in James Cahoon, who had started here for so long. You lost your star running back. It's a very different look Bears roster as Worcester State fields the kickoff, takes this one up down to about the 15, quickly met a little bit past there on the return.
Yeah, look for the Bears defensive line today to be dominant, as we see here.
Not a bad return for the Lancers by any means. On that return is Damian Mitchell, the senior defensive back from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And now, starting on the 19, the Lancers get the ball with Hardesky under center.
Yeah, Peter Celestino with the tackle on that kickoff.
Peter Celestino, the converted quarterback, turned defensive back for the Rams. Handoff here, right up the middle. And a solid gain on the run for the Rams. It'll move the chains on the opening play. Nico Holmes on the opening carry of the game just takes this ball straight up. And he kept running. He had two guys. He was dragging him with him. And he was able to get the first down.
There's a nice block there by number 69. That is Trevor Johnson creating the hole.
Gain of 13 on that run. And Holmes will get the ball again. Bounces this one out right side. Cuts back in and is taken down. Just getting a little bit past the line of scrimmage. We'll see where the ball is spotted. So you get the replay here.
Gain of 1 on the play.
They'll give him a gain of 1. 2nd and 9 now from the 33-yard line for the Lancers. 3 wide receivers set, tight end out there as well. 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right of the quarterback, Hardesty. Drops back, looking for the pass, having to avoid some pressure from Canales. He'll throw this one downfield, almost intercepted. Getting his hands on that one for the Bears was Matt Mamone. As I believe the target was Colin Lyons.
Broken up by number 15.
Good man coverage there, right there. By, I believe it was Harley Filippipe with the
From the
deflection.
33-yard line.
Canales getting right in there.
Yeah,
Forced them to step up.
just forcing Hardesty back, and he had to rush the pass a little bit. Wasn't able to connect with his man, and Mamone with some good coverage. Man in motion coming across the formations, Von Klock. As Hardesty forced to roll out to his right. Throws this one down the sideline, and we'll see what the call is if he made the catch. They'll say he did. Down the side, it's Ose Sarpong.
Hardesty's pass complete. to
Nice,
number 5,
nice throw there by Hardesty.
Ose Sarpong.
A good job keeping his composure in the pocket, being forced out to his right like that.
15
The
on
pocket
reception.
collapses and just rolls right out. Just hits him right on the sideline.
48-yard line.
First completion of the game goes for 15. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line for the Lancers.
Good start for the Lancers so far.
Holmes lined up to the right of Hardesty. High snap over the head of the quarterback. Holmes trying to block. Hardesty dives on it and will get taken down by Daniel Alade.
Number 9,
Really far back in the backfield.
recovery.
Yeah, that one a little too high there.
And we saw last week with Framingham, they had their backup center playing. We saw a lot of rough snaps that set the Bears up really well. And here we see a loss of 21 yards, Zach. 2nd and 31 from the 27.
From the 27-yard line.
Not an ideal start to this game for the Lancers, especially when you had some promising plays to move the chains.
You started with a couple of nice throws and nice runs, but now you're all the way backed up. Now you gotta get 30 yards.
Hardesty drops back, 3rd and a country mile, tries to check it down. Olade swats it. He was looking for the screen pass. And the man who made the big tackle last time out makes a deflection here. He was trying to hit Holmes on the screen. And Daniel Olade, right place, right time.
Just a little screen dump pass right there. Just is not able to get it over Olade, who makes a great play, forcing the Lancers to a 3rd and extremely long.
Not sure how often you practice for this down and distance, but 3rd and 31, 2 wide receivers lined up to either side of Hardesty. Has trouble with that snap, but able to corral it. Hardesty rolls out. He'll take it himself up the middle. Hardesty has some space, sliding to the ground, very shy of the line to gain. And now it'll be 4th down.
Hardesty on the keeper.
Pocket collapses here, forces them right up the middle, and nice coverage by the Bears, forces them to run, and won't get anywhere.
And you saw in that replay, just really awkward off the snap. He had to field that just with his right hand. So 4th and 17, a solid gain of 14 on the scramble. Just unfortunately not enough with 3rd and 31 being the starting place.
Almost
Punts
blocked right
high in the
there.
air. And this one will take a roll, a pretty favorable roll at that, down to about the 21.
Lancers got a bounce on that one. My goodness.
That didn't look promising off the leg of the punter.
Looked dead off the 30. It was almost blocked, too.
Christian Sacco gets a little bit lucky there.
We see here. Whoa. Number 25, Luke Mayer, a freshman. Almost gets the block on that one. Would have been a big play for the Bears.
1st and 10 from the 21 now for Bridgewater State. It's Jaden Moseley with Trevor Nunes lined up to the left in the backfield. Nunes will get the carry, cuts it up right side, gets a fairly modest gain.
Number 23, Trevor Nunes on the carry.
We get that replay for you on the read option.
It's a nice block in there, but just gets tripped up. Ooh, loses the ball. I think he was down, though.
Yeah, they whistled the play dead already. He was down by contact.
From the 26-yard
2nd and 5 now. They send the motion man across. It's Ryan Coonan on the sweep. And that'll be good for the first down.
Just goes in motion here. Just a little handoff. Nice blocking on the outside by the linemen and receivers. Even Nunes gets up there. It's a nice first down play right there.
Solid run there on first down by Ryan, or on second down by Ryan Coonan to get first down. As Coonan comes in motion again. This time lines up as a blocker as they hand the ball off to Trevor Nunes. Short gain on the play. And this is going to be one thing to watch out. The Lancers know the Bears love to run the ball with Nunes, and they're going to be ready for it.
Yeah, right now the Lancers, knowing that Trevor Nunes having 2 touchdowns and 173 yards last week, looking to probably run more blitz-heavy packages.
They'll give it to Nunes again. Nunes takes it up the middle for the first down and a little bit more. Trevor Nunes showing off some power running there to secure the first down for Bridgewater.
Nunes just heading straight up the middle. Just nice blocking here by all the linemen.
Parting the Red Sea.
That was a good one.
And then right down to midfield. Coonan in motion once again. Handoff, this time in the backfield, it's Isaiah Wright, who gets tripped up at first, keeps his balance, his knee didn't go down, and I think he might have at best made it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he got right back to the line of scrimmage. Line absolutely collapsed on this one. Yeah, just gets right through.
Worcester State sent a little bit more than the Bears could have handled. Wright will remain out there in the backfield, lined up to the right of Moseley. Another motion sweep for Coonan, who again, I think barely got back to the line.
Lions just not falling for that this time. Goes right back to that motion. See the corners come right up and make a nice play.
No gain, and I didn't even notice. They fairly generously gave Isaiah Wright a yard on that run. So now it's 3rd and 9. Wright remains in the backfield.
Look for the Bears to pass in this situation for a 3rd and long.
Get Dana Kinche lined up on that far sideline, registering Coonan to the left. Coonan in the slot. Tight end in motion. Moseley looking downfield for Coonan, and almost intercepted there by the Lancers.
There's Jamison Metcalf with a nice deflection here. Ooh, almost intercepted that one for a diving pick.
Just all over Ryan Coonan. Great coverage there by Metcalf, and that's going to force the first punt of the day for Shane Drake. Shane Drake, like we said, MASCAC Special Teams Player of the Week. 5th time he's been given that honor in his career. He sends a very good punt. Far back there, fair catch is called. Down within the 10.
Looks like right at the 5-yard line, 5-6.
On the return, if you can even call it that, was Damian Mitchell once again. But a very good punt for the Bears. Setting up some less than favorable field placement here for the Lancers.
If you're the Bears right now, you got to take advantage of the poor field position for the Lancers. You got to force a 3-and-out here, force a turnover.
Lancers ball, 1st and 10.
The best you can hope for is another high snap over the head of Hardesky. And we'll just go straight back out of the end zone.
Look for the Lancers to run here, try to get some space.
Holmes remains in the backfield for the Lancers. high snap. He'll hand it off to Holmes. Holmes just takes it into a crowd. And I'm not sure he got anything.
Looks like they gave him just a yard. Just another high snap. And it goes right into just a horde of Bears. Just not letting up any room.
Good defending by the front seven for Bridgewater.
33 Holmes on the carry.
The center is Matt Noonan. He does have some experience in his senior year here for the Lancers, as they'll give it to Holmes again. And once again, not getting much. You know, we said a little bit earlier, this Lancers team rushed for negative 14 yards in their prior game. Of course, in college, sacks do count as negative rushing yards. So that is a bulk of it. It's not like they had negative 14 on carries, but still, that's not a great look in terms of your running game.
Even though they started off with a couple of good runs in that first drive, right now the Bears' defensive line has been stout, and we saw this last week against the Rams, that defensive line just being able to get pressure.
It's really good after getting chopped up in week one by the MIT offensive line, as Hardesty somehow stays alive, hits the ground, he loses the ball in the end zone, and the Bears are on top of it. Mark DiGiorolamo with the recovery for the first score of the game.
Just heavy pressure by the Bears and get stripped. We'll see who would strip them in a second.
Forced by number 53,
Victor Martinez, the junior linebacker, forcing the ball free, and Mark DiGiorolamo diving on top of it in the end zone. Great play by Vic Martinez. Then you can see Canales and DiGiorolamo just head straight towards the ball.
That was Aquino with the pressure up front first to force him to go backward. Looked like they had him for a second.
Joey Nasso on for the extra point, was perfect in the game last week against Framingham. Pagano with the hold, Nasso with the kick, straight through the uprights, 7-0 Bears lead, following the defensive touchdown. And this Bears defense has been strong all season. 22.3 points, or 19.5 points per game, I'm sorry. Keeping it under 20. That's fairly solid defense on the year.
Even though they gave up 37 points in the first game, since then, that Bears defense has been very good.
Of course, last week did a great job bringing down that average as we get another look, a different angle on the turnover for you here. And just the entire defensive line, and Aquino applying the pressure, and then Martinez forcing the ball free.
Hartsky did a nice job escaping the pocket there, but just the Bears were just too much.
Yeah, he's shown good awareness. There's just been a little bit too many red jerseys in the backfield for Hardesty to handle.
As I said before, on that, with the ball was, look for the Bears to possibly force a turnover on that one.
Yeah, with that kind of field position, you've got to go for the turnover, the safety, and the Bears able to force the fumble. As you see Victor Martinez out there now on special teams, lined up to the left of Shane Drake. Drake gets ready to send this thing in the air. And here it goes, fielded by the Lancers. They'll take it out this time. But not too far, as Victor Martinez in on the tackle. The junior stays making plays for the Bears, as the Lancers not able to get anything on the return.
Looks like he finds a little bit of field position, but Aquino makes a nice job. And ooh, that did not look good.
That was Lance Williams on the return. 1st and 10. It spots the 23 for the Lancers. 2 men in the backfield now. And another high snap. Handoff and brought down almost instantly. It's Alade.
Alade just coming right off the edge, completely unblocked. Streaks right down and makes the Lancers lose yards. Nice play.
Not what you want to see if you're the Lancers, especially now they have a fullback out there. Jeremiah Norfleet Jr., or Jermaine Norfleet Jr., I'm sorry, in the backfield as well after they've struggled to get the ball going on the ground. They decided to send out the fullback. And Same result as they've been getting.
Man, just coming out and trips left right here.
And another high snap. Olade's going to go for the ball, but diving on it once again is Hardesky. And this looks to be down within the 5. It might be at the 1.
Just another high snap. We saw this all last week with Framingham. We did not expect Worcester State to have these kind of mistakes, and we've already seen 2 of these. Just big loss of yards.
And I mean, granted, last week it was their backup center coming in on short notice. The starter got hurt in pregame warmups, and they had to look for the backup. And now we're getting more of the same thing, but with the starting center this time, as they'll send the fullback back out there again in another high snap. This time it's the running back, Holmes, who takes it, but it looks like the Bears got the safety.
I think they're just going to give him right at the 1, the half-inch yard line right there.
The Bears defense was signaling like they thought they got it, but you're right. It'll just be down at the 1, loss of 2.
Ooh, I don't know.
That's close. We don't have a lot of bodies in the way of the camera there on that look. But regardless, you got to punt here. And with this kind of field position, punting from your own end zone, this is where you're going to see a lot of blocked punts, a lot of short punts. This should be relatively good field positioning for the Bears. I mean, look where your return man's lined up right now. Just a little bit behind the 40-yard line.
Look for the Bears to come with a heavy pressure here, trying to get a block kick.
Your punter's almost out of bounds, as there's a flag.
Could be too many men on the field.
See what the call is.
Delay game on the offense.
It's going to be a delay game on the Lancers. Half the distance to the goal, even though there's no distance left. As you see back there to return for Bridgewater is Jay Como. And the majority of the punt return work for the Bears. They got this punt in the air.
That might be a safety.
But it's a safety. He stepped out.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Just a misstep by Sacco.
Oh,
as you see,
he's right there.
as he's gearing up, step backwards. It was a short punt anyway. But you can just not let that happen. 9-0. Bears lead with 4:09 left to go in the first quarter.
And now they'll be getting the ball back as well.
The Bears continue carrying their momentum over from that 41-0 victory. And I got to be honest, Zach, I think this is the first time I've seen a safety on a punt in one of these games.
I think this is the first time I've seen a safety on a punt ever. I very rarely have ever seen these.
Yeah, not often you see that happen, especially not happening like that.
No.
In the defense of Sacco, he didn't really have anywhere to go. He was as close to the edge of the goal line as you could be. And there was not much real estate for him to work with on that punt. Just a force of habit to step back when you get that snap, and that got the better of him there.
It's tough when you're that backed up. You have no room to spare, so you got to watch your steps. Just going through his natural motion.
Especially, the entire special teams is going to be coming at you. Like we said, that's where a lot of the blocked punts are going to happen, is backed up against your own end zone. It's just a tough spot for any punter to be in. And the Bears showed why, as they got the safety. And they'll get the ball back here as well, like you said. Now back to return, Isaiah Wright. He's on the far side. Lined up near side for the Bears, Mario Francisco Johnson, the freshman wide receiver out of Braintree, Mass. Sacco on the kickoff.
I believe that's Freitas on the kickoff. It was number 46.
Oh, it is. You're right. Sacco's 48. And Freitas is 46. Good catch. Manuel Freitas struggled in his last game, 0 for 3 on field goals. Obviously, this isn't a field goal, but not what you want to see from your starting kicker. It'll be interesting to see if, when they get into field goal range, we'll see Caleb Thompson or maybe even Christian Sacco take the duties on the field goals. We saw Shane Drake take a couple longer ones for the Bears last week, and I wouldn't be shocked if we saw someone other than Freitas this week.
Yeah, I played with Freitas in high school, and he always had a pretty good leg.
As a low kick, not necessarily a squib, but it kind of looked like one as Wright makes a move, takes it up down to a little bit behind midfield. Solid game, just a low kickoff. So we get the replay for you here. See Wright had to field it on the bounce.
since 1972.
And a solid return by the senior running back, taken down eventually by Mitchell.
In celebration of homecoming. Bears ball, 1st and 10 from the 40.
Bears gonna have great field position here.
48-yard line's the exact spot. Moseley lined up with Nunes to the left. And coming in motion now, Josh Register. Handoff now to Nunes. Nunes takes it up the middle and gets about 6 yards on the carry. And there's a flag. Some extracurriculars after the play. I don't know if that's what the flag was for. We'll see what the call is. Someone lost their helmet for the Bears.
Looked like Michael Garafola had his helmet ripped off and thrown into the pile.
Usually Garafola would have to come off for the next play, but I think because it was pulled off on the face mask that he will get to stay back in. So we'll get the replay to see if you can pick up on the face mask on the guard Garafola right here. A little bit off screen, but you see, nice snag by the ref, by the way, catching Garafola's helmet.
The referee looked a little shocked there.
Good reaction time. And Garafola a little bit confused, as I would be, on why that just happened. But he will get to stay in the game because it was ripped off. It didn't fall off in play, or else he would have had to take this next snap. As they have the fullback Rinta in the formation now, he'll go across in motion. Moseley takes the snap, drops back, looking for the pass. Long pass put on in the hands of Josh Register. Touchdown Bears. Perfectly placed ball by Moseley, finding Register over the shoulder.
This was an absolute dime by Jaden Moseley. Just leads him on a deep crosser. Going a little play action. You've been running the ball all game. Forces the defense to come down. Drops back. Just finds Register on a nice ball. Perfect placement.
You couldn't have placed that ball any better. Right over Metcalf where only Register can get it. Right into the red basket for 6. 15-0's your score. Nassau trying to make it 16-0. As the kick from the junior is up and good. 16-0's your score. As the Bears rolling so far on this homecoming game. Talked about a little bit earlier in the broadcast, Jaden Moseley, a product of the M2 Quarterback Academy, ran by a man who holds several all-time QB records for the Bears, Mike McCarthy. Very good dual-threat quarterback for the Bears for many years. Now a big name in the quarterback coaching area. Coaches NFL guys, D1 guys, guys from all levels of football. He's worked with Brian Hoyer. He's worked with Jaden Moseley. He worked with James Cahoon. A lot of talent has come through that passing academy and continues to. They just had a player commit to Clemson. A very solid coach, and one of his products showing off on the field now for the Bears.
Yeah, right now both sides of the Bears, defense and offense, look both very sound. And if the Bears, if you had that in your earlier games, you could have won those games pretty easily. And it's all coming together later on in the season.
Well, Shane Drake was getting ready to kick off, but the ball fell off the stand. I remember last year we played one game, really windy, and there was about 5 times that the ball would fall off the tee on kickoffs, to the point where teams would just opt to have a player on special teams go out and hold it. The weather's not quite that bad today. I think that one just might have been placed a little bit awkwardly as that kick wobbles off the leg of Drake, picked up off the ground by Mitchell, and he's taken down on the shoestring tackle by the Bears. In on the tackle was Peter Celestino, the converted quarterback turned DB.
This one just a low roller kick, has to kind of scoop it up and go.
And it's very similar to the kickoff we saw Freitas just take as well. Just a weird low bouncer. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line now for Worcester State.
Lancers right now their biggest issue right now is even getting the ball just to their quarterback. Just a couple high snaps have cost them yards.
Pony formation for the Lancers, 3 wide, handoff to Nunes, tries to bounce it up the left side. He will, makes a man miss, and gets maybe a couple on the carry. You see lined up to the left of the quarterback Hardesty with Zy'Kie James, the junior running back.
Holmes kind of just bouncing off a couple of guys and just able to find some yardage.
Holmes is a good running back on a team that just struggled to move the ball. Hoping to turn that around here today against Bears, but a very stout run defense as he's brought down quickly again. It's Nick Canales in on the tackle.
The MassCAC Defensive Player of the Week, making his name known.
Not just that, the D3Football.com Player of the Week as well. Had 8 tackles, 4 sacks, 4.5 TFLs last weekend against Framingham State. A career high in sacks for him. And just a fantastic game all around by him, Mark DeGiorolamo. The Bears defense really showed up.
That's what makes his defense tough, especially this defensive line. Especially with Canales, you kind of have to focus on him, double team, but that opens it up for the rest of the defensive line.
Hardesty drops back, looking for the pass, scanning the field. He'll roll out to his right now and throw down the sideline. I thought he was going to throw it out, but a solid job finding Drew Van Clock on the sideline for the first down.
Pressure just coming once again, just doesn't really have any time, has to roll out, and once again on the rollout makes a nice throw here.
Good job by Von Clock getting a hold of that one a little bit to his right. Olade was in the backfield but fell down. And on the topic of their defense, Coach Varia, the head coach of the Bears, was a defensive coach for a very long time before coming the head coach. So he's a very defensive-minded guy, and that's part of the reason why this Bears defense has just been so strong, as they show you once again on the first down run.
33 Holmes on the carry.
See, they send Von Clock in motion.
Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd and 8 from the 42-yard
And
line.
Holmes only able to get 2.
It was number 90, Thomas Rocha, the 6-foot junior from Barrington, Rhode Island, with the tackle.
2nd and 8 now from the 42-yard line for the Lancers. Pony formation again, 2 wide left, 1 wide right for the Lancers. Hardesty, high snap again. The Bears meeting him in the backfield was DeGiorolamo, but Hardesty threw it out of bounds before the Bears could get it.
Just another problem with this snap, just way too high. This time he is luckily able to get it away, and so they don't lose yards, but once again get a 3rd and long.
And the last couple times he's just had to dive on it because he's had someone breathing down his neck. That time, like you said, able to just throw it away. And good thing for him, a man was in the area, so he couldn't get hit with the intentional grounding. Just unlucky on these snaps for the Lancers. 3rd time we've seen that. They'll put 1 in the backfield, 3 wide right, 1 wide left. Hardesty rolls out right, looking for the pass. Pressure in the backfield, ball's batted around.
I think he might have caught that.
It might be incomplete. We'll see on the replay here what the exact call is. There was a wide receiver in the area who batted it around. Oh, my God.
He caught that. That's a catch.
Wow. Dylan Van Hall making the catch. What an incredible play there by Hall, the senior from Plainville, Connecticut. My goodness, that's an incredible catch, incredible awareness by the senior to reel that ball in for a gain of 8, nonetheless.
The Lancers just running a flood concept there, just basically having everyone go to one side, and Hall able to make the catch off a tip. That's why you practice tip drill.
Snap this time, play action. Hardesty looking downfield for the pass. Sails one over the head of Von Clock. Mamone in the area. And that one drops incomplete.
It's play action here. It's the first time we're seeing that all day. Just has him kind of on a crosser here. Just misses him.
Luckily, neither Bears defender in the area was able to get their hand on it. It was Mamone out there alongside Zach Souza. As now that'll bring us to 2nd and 10 from the 50. Another high snap over the head of Hardesty. He'll have to dive on this one. Did Olade pick it up? He didn't, but DiGirolamo did. They'll whistle the play dead. And they'll say that Hardesty had possession and was down by contact by Olade. Boos from the crowd.
Yeah, no.
I don't think so.
He didn't have possession at all.
He touched it.
But
he really didn't have full control.
No, there was no full control there. I think that's what they're discussing now.
The officials are going to deliberate, but they whistled dead what would have been a fumble 6 by Mark DiGirolamo. It would have been actually his 2nd of the game. So that takes away a potential score for the Bears, whether or not there is a turnover here. It's still a little bit of an unfortunate situation for Bridgewater. That's how the first quarter is going to end, but we'll see what the call is on the field as the officials currently deliberating that right now.
Let's see what the call is.
And it's going to be 2nd down. They'll say that Hardesty was downed with possession of the ball by Olade. So the Lancers will, lucky for them, remain with the ball, but from less favorable field position as we get another look at that play.
Kind of just falls on it. I don't see where he gains possession.
The ball was on the ground. He had his hand on it, but I don't know if you can argue that's full possession. As you see right here, the Bears cheer team celebrating yet another national championship, their 6th straight. 6 straight, 8 all-time for the Bears this last season. So congratulations to the Bears cheer team on their 8th natty, 6th Dixar. So I'm not sure what the call is. They're replaying the down.
Was there a penalty on it?
I didn't see a flag. As Hardesty just hits the short pass in the flat out to his wide receiver, wide right was Lance Williams. I'm a little bit confused because I looked over at the scoreboard down on the field. It said 2nd and 10. And wow.
Lance Williams just running a little whip route there. It was a nice tackle by number 33, Quinton Browder, the graduate from Mansfield, Texas. Oh my goodness. It's a long way to travel.
Hardesty takes the snap, drops back, looking deep, and sails this one over the head of his man Williams for the incompletion.
That one there was just complete miscommunication. You see here, he looks, I think he wanted him to go a little longer on that, but Williams kind of just stopped.
Third and 7, ball's on the 47. I'm sorry, 4th and 7. The in-stadium scoreboard didn't update. The broadcast one did. I was looking at the stadium one, which would explain why the punt team's out. A little bit of a low snap on the punt. Sacco sends this one almost straight up. Como is just going to let that one go for a ride out of bounds. Flag down near where Sacco was. I don't know if this was a roughing call. I was following the ball.
Maybe a possible holding by the Lancers. Because pressure once again. Roughing the punter.
We get the replay for you right here. Sacco gets that one away. And
I'm very confused on what the call is there.
I don't think. So we think, word from the truck, thank you very much, is the penalty was on Greg Dimitri for trying to jump over those blockers. For a second, I thought they were calling roughing the kicker on him, in which case Dimitri had zero control of his body at that point as he was flying through the air towards Sacco, the punter. But I believe that the call was on him trying to get over those blockers. And just an unfortunate mistake there for the Bears that sets the Lancers up with even better field position. I'm sorry, we had a women's soccer game earlier. They played Framingham. Still have the Rams in my head. But the Lancers now 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Deepest they've been in Bears territory so far today, as it's Nico Holmes on the carry. He'll get a couple.
Just trying to get a push up front from the Lancers front line, who hasn't had much success today against Bridgewater's defensive line. Just a nice little push. Holmes kind of being patient, trying to find a... Oh, that was number 30.
Oh, that's actually Norfleet Jr. They did a good job on the misdirection on the handoff. Sold me. And that'll be 2nd and 8 from the 30. Same look in the backfield again. One back to either side of Hardesty. Hardesty rushed almost immediately. The Bears get there first, but the quarterback able to get the ball away. Thomas Rocha, one of the guys applying pressure, alongside Jacob Short.
As we've seen pretty much this entire game. Oh, he just dropped the...
They're going to call intentional grounding here on Hardesty.
So loss of yards and loss of down for the Lancers.
So the Bears kind of get one back after that roughing the punter.
Oh, yeah, there was nobody in the area whatsoever. Good call.
Good call, and in Hardesty's defense, didn't have much of a choice. It was either intentionally ground the ball and hope you get away with it, or take the sack and potentially cough up the ball. 3rd and 15 is the down and distance now from the 37.
Bears just having pretty much immediate pressure off the defensive line. The offensive line had no push at all, just able to get straight through.
Norfleet in the backfield lined up as a fullback, Holmes behind him. And they'll give the carry to Holmes. Makes a man miss, breaks one tackle, but is brought down quickly thereafter. There's a flag.
Showing possibly a hold.
Minimal gain, if any, by Holmes.
Another personal foul.
Face mask on the defense. So another unforced error here by the Bears, as we get that replay for you right here. And I think they called it on Canales right there. I was trying to read the mouth of the referee. I think he said 98. And that's the only part where I can see a potential face mask taking place. So it'll be a 15-yard penalty and a first down now.
Right now the Bears kind of kicking themselves in the foot. There's 2 back-to-back bad penalties.
Penalty for the Bears, penalty for the Lancers. Penalty for the Bears again gives the Lancers 1st and 10 from the 18. And a carry for Nico Holmes. Granted, he's not going to get a whole lot.
33 Holmes on the carry.
Another relatively high snap. So Hardesty had to jump up to grab that one. And it's a gain of 2 for the running back Holmes. Some pre-snap motion by the tight end. And another handoff to the running back Holmes. Holmes making some waves, but I don't know if he got there for the first down.
This will be just about a yard short. Just nice blocking up front, just creating a hole. Number 80 creating a nice hole there for Holmes. It'll be Aiden Breen.
The linebacker tight end. Showing off his versatility there. 3rd down from the 10-yard line. Hardesty drops back on the handoff, gives it over to Holmes. And Holmes is brought down. I believe they'll say he's short.
Canales just getting in there immediately, kind of overruns it. But Bears do a nice job of holding him.
And Martinez and Bone able to finish him off. 4th and 1. from the 9. And I definitely think this is 4-down territory. It looks like the Lancers do as well, as they'll remain out there.
Look for the Lancers to go big here. Watch a possible read option.
Breen still out there blocking. They'll give the handoff to Holmes, but there's a whistle.
It's going to be a false start.
And this is the last thing you can afford on 4th and 1 from the 9 if you're the Lancers.
We're just kind of just discussing what it could possibly be.
See Nico Holmes and Parker Hardesky standing there listening in on the discussion. And it looked like they were moving back, but the official is not done yet.
I think they're just trying to get away from the players.
This might be, on both sides of the ball, one of the sloppiest drives I've ever seen. You had 2 big penalties against the Bears, 1 against the Lancers. We'll see what this call is here.
I think they picked it up, so no call right there. Yeah, it's a no call. They just picked it right up.
So it'll remain 4th and 1 from the 9-yard line. Bears coach is not too thrilled about that no call there.
You see the Bears head coach, Vieira, having some words with the ref.
4th and 1 from the 9-yard line.
Look for the Bears to go man here in a possible blitz as well from the middle backers.
Bears loading the line. They think it's a handoff to Holmes. And it is. Holmes tries to bounce it left, swarmed by a sea of red jerseys. And he'll be short.
I think they might have gave it to him on that. I think he got it just enough.
The Bears seem to think they got him. The Rams seem to think they got the first down. We'll see what the official spot is.
I think they're going to have the chains come out and kind of measure it. That's what will happen.
A chain gang coming out onto the field to get the official spot of the ball. Very close, as you see. I think, from this angle at least, it looks like they got it.
See here, a nice camera angle. And they
Just
are short.
short.
What a stop by the Bears defense.
My goodness. The Bears defense with a huge stop on 4th and 1 in the red zone. You see that replay right here. Just 5 Bears in on that tackle. One of them Martinez.
Turnover on down.
Just a ton of bodies for the running back to work through. And now a turnover on downs on what felt like a very long drive. After it kept getting extended with penalties, it finally ends with the Lancers coming up short.
One thing they teach you in football is biggest thing, especially what I learned on defense, is to gang tackle. Get as many bodies as you can.
That was almost a team tackle. 5 players just immediately swarming Holmes. As now, here's a handoff to Nunes.
Gets about 5 right there.
See Nunes again just showing off the hard running, taking it through a crowd of players. We really haven't seen Moseley show off that arm that much in the game. Will be exactly a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 from the 13. Moseley, read option, handoff to Nunes. Nunes is met fairly quickly. We'll see what the spot is.
Don't think he got anything on this. As you say, it was a read option. Kind of just stuffed right at the same spot. Just no gain.
Gain of 2 on the play.
They'll give him a gain of 2. Generous, might I say.
And
3rd and 3 now
from the 15-yard line.
for the Bears. 3 out wide. It's Moel Mitchell in the slot. Moseley drops back looking for the pass, trying to find Brown, and he does. Ethan Brown working with some space, dragging a man with him, and he's got a lot more than the first down.
As we've seen from Moseley earlier, he can throw these types of passes. Just another crosser by Brown just over the middle. Just finds a hole and just rumbles down the sideline. Nice job.
Great play by Ethan Brown. He took Metcalf for a little bit of a ride with him. There's some strong, hard running after the catch by the Bears tight end.
Looks like they pushed him back a couple of yards, possibly.
It does. Brown might have been forced out down the sideline a little bit earlier than the original spot as Moseley takes the snap, handoff, Nunes. Nunes, some patient running, but was met almost immediately after making the first cut.
Nice job by the Lancers defense. There's a nice rush up front, kind of a blitz by the 2 inside backers. Let's do a nice job not allowing Nunes to get any big yardage.
Yeah, meeting him in the hole for the Lancers was Anthony Zy'Kie. Almost immediately finds the running back on that carry. A little bit of a heavy set here for the Bears as they run the ball. This time it's Isaiah Wright. And a solid gain here by the senior. But I don't think it's enough to move the chains. Second carry of the game for Isaiah Wright after his first one. He was almost met instantly by a pair of Lancers defenders.
This is just nice patience by Wright. Just waits for a hole to open up and just bursts through it. It's a nice run there.
Isaiah Wright, kind of easy to lose him in the crowd of big bodies down there at the line of scrimmage. Maybe what happened to the Lancers there as the Bears pick up a decent game. There's the handoff again. I think he got it. They'll move the chains for the first down.
Wright goes going right up the middle and just kind of sliding down.
He got 4 yards on the carry, one more than what he initially needed from 3rd and 3. As the Bears now have Rinta lined up as a fullback. They give the ball to Nunes, who takes it up the middle. And he gets some solid yardage here on this carry.
This is what we've seen from Nunes all year, just being patient, just waiting for his line to create a hole.
It's a huge hit.
Number 23, Nunes.
Sorry to cut you off, but that was rough.
Yeah, now Wright is back in the game.
Nunes might need a second to collect himself after that one.
Another jumbo package here from the Bears.
Hand off to Isaiah Wright. Wright's got some space, but is brought down after securing the first for the Bears.
Number 3, Wright on the carry.
One thing we've seen about this Bears team all year long is they are a ground and pound team. Offensive line able to get a nice push and nice blocking by the tight ends as well.
Solid gain there to secure the first as you see some of the crowd out here on homecoming. Another handoff to Wright. Wright trying to make a man miss. Metcalf met him there at the line and brought him down. We'll see what the exact spot of the ball is.
Bears trying to work outside here. Just not very good blocking on the outside. Just a couple of missed blocks. Lancers doing a nice job.
The Lancers 7th in the MASCAC in rushing defense, 184.3 yards per game allowed on the ground for Worcester State. And for a team that averages 173 on the ground offensively for the Bears, they're going to try to exploit that best they can. Huge drop here. Wide open. Maybe he heard some footsteps. It was Cam Pregano. Moseley hit him right in the hands.
Moseley just rolling out here on a little play action. He kind of had Pregano. Pregano kind of just running a snag route, just kind of sitting there. Just looks upfield before he even catches it.
Hit him right in the mitts for the incompletion. Timeout's called.
Timeout. Bridgewater.
It's going to be called by Bridgewater. So 3rd and 8 from the 22. They're at the very least in field goal range. I'm curious to see whether or not it will be Drake or Nasso who goes out there for the field goal. We saw Shane Drake take the field goal reps last week after Nasso struggled with them 2 weeks ago against Plymouth State. But Joey Nasso is warming up on the sideline like he's going to take the kick. Bears, of course, lead 16-0. With 5:40 left in the half.
Just a nice turnout for the crowd. You know, homecoming's always a big game.
There have been people here since I got here at 10 for the soccer game. There have been people setting up tailgating in the parking lot since 10. So a huge turnout here. As it looks like the Bears going for a little bit of a trick play here. Direct snap, taken up the middle by Dallas Murphy, the junior wide receiver from Plymouth.
Bears kind of going a wildcat there. Direct snap to the receiver, hoping they can get something. They get a nice gain there, but it looks like Dallas will still be in. They'll go and hurry up.
Motion man Isaiah Wright. Murphy hands it off to him. Wright has some space, spinning down the sideline.
I don't think he got it.
Yeah, I think you're right. He might have been a little bit short. Murphy got that handoff at just the right second, too. He almost got hit in the backfield. Waiting for the spot. They might send the chain gang out here again just to confirm it.
First down for the Lancers.
Holding on the offense.
Oh, never mind.
Penalty declined. Result of the play. Turnover on down.
No, you're right. Holding on the Bears, so the Lancers making the stop on 4th down will obviously opt to decline the penalty
Lancers ball.
and get the ball back on the 15-yard line. Not great field position to start a drive, but you do force another empty possession by the Bears.
One thing as a Bridgewater offense you cannot do is you cannot come away with these empty possessions off of having some big plays down the field. You got to be able to even score, even if it's just a field goal.
Especially with this field position. I mean, I can understand where that's 4-down territory, 4th and relatively short. And another high snap. This time, Holmes jumps on top of it, but it's in the end zone for another safety. 2 safeties, 1 half. That is the first time I've seen something like that happen. Just another high snap as Holmes brings it down in the end zone. 18-0 is the score.
Right now, the Lancers, they have given up let's see. They've given up about 11 points just from defensive turnovers. 2 safeties, that's 4, and then obviously giving up the defensive touchdown on the strip sack. Right now, they're kind of killing themselves.
They almost had another fumble 6. Of course, that play was, we honestly have no idea what happened. We thought they whistled it dead, that Hardesky had possession, and then who knows? There's a penalty in there somewhere or something. But 18-0 is your score with 5 minutes exactly left to play in the half. The Bears will be getting the ball on the kickoff. Back there to receive is Francois and Wright. And Freitas on to kick it away. The Bears coming off a 41-0 victory, their first of the season, and a big NASCAC win last week. Look to notch another big NASCAC win this week. Obviously, we talked about a little bit earlier, was Worcester State's rolling with a different quarterback. Parker Hardesky had to come in last week against Westfield after Iote went out with that injury. So a guy who hasn't seen the field a whole lot this season other than that game. A little bit of an unfortunate situation for the junior to be thrown in. And of course, a lot of things have gone wrong for the Lancers that weren't his fault. A lot of high snaps, And some trouble with that kickoff for a second. But the Bears able to corral it completely as Celestino is the one running with it. It was Derek Fitzgerald, one of the upmen, who had it for a second, kind of bobbled it.
Just another low ball here. Celestino gets a decently nice return here. Right to about the 45-yard line.
Celestino's a guy we've seen return kicks and punts in the past. Obviously not the designated return man on that play, but did a solid job with it.
Always got to be prepared.
2 wide to the left of Moseley, 1 to the right. Tight end in the formations, Ethan Brown. Coonan comes across, and there's a flag on the play.
This would be a false start on the Bears.
It's going to be on one of the linemen, John Vincent.
Oh yeah, a little flinch there from both from the center and the guard. And he knows it too. Head down.
Yeah, I believe Vincent was the one they called for it, but good shout because the center also was in on the false start. Moseley drops back looking for all of it. Jack McCarthy catches it, and he'll stroll right into the end zone. A huge catch and run for the Bears to go ahead 24-0. Wide open Jack McCarthy. Great placement on the throw from the freshman Moseley. 60 yards.
Oh my gosh. That was absolutely beautiful ball placement by Moseley. There's another play action. Great protection is all the time in the world. And McCarthy gets over the top of the safety.
Bears waited 4 weeks for a defined starter on this team. You got one. It's number 17. Moseley with his second passing touchdown of the game. Had one last week as well, 3rd of the season. No interceptions for the kid yet. And the second touchdown in as many weeks for the senior McCarthy.
McCarthy had a deep ball touchdown last week, which was also from Moseley. So that connection is there.
Seems to really like hitting McCarthy on those deep balls. We also saw some incredible grabs last weekend by Brown and Akinche as well. So the Bears aren't afraid to go deep if they have to, but they know their bags really with running the ball, and they'll continue to do that as much as they can get away with. But honestly, why not just let it fly?
Yeah, right now, the passing game is completely opened up for Bridgewater in these last 2 weeks, which has been a struggle for them all season. But as you said, they found a starter, and that is Moseley, who has delivered 2 beautiful touchdown passes, both deep passes.
And this is a Worcester State squad that is 3rd in the MASCAC in passing defense, 119.5 yards per game allowed, which is nothing at all through the air. But, of course, that might have to do in part with the 184.5 yards they let up per game on the ground. Teams really don't need to pass as much against the Lancers.
Being 7th ranked in the MASCAC, the Lancers expected Bridgewater to go for running the ball. Not expecting them to pass as much because Bridgewater's not the best with the pass. So able to open up this passing game will definitely open up the running game.
Yeah, things might change in coming weeks in terms of how frequently they pass, the way Moseley's been playing. At least in these first 2 games we saw him. He did get in a little bit against Plymouth State 2 weeks ago, but all he did was hand the ball off. He didn't record a stat. Here today, he already has 2 passing touchdowns to add on to his 1 last week.
Lancers ball 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 25 for the Lancers after that kick went out the back of the end zone.
Biggest thing right now for the Lancers, you gotta be able just to get the snap off right now. Never mind moving the ball.
We've seen 4 or 5, I think, snaps that have gone over the head of Hardesky. That one's low. Ooh, huge hit there. Trying to get a hand on the ball was, I believe,
Dakari Rogers, the sophomore corner. Oh my goodness.
And it
Low
was,
snap.
and it was Dylan Hall as well, who was trying to get a hand on the reception.
And Hardesky was drilled after he threw that one.
Yeah, the snapping game has just been a struggle for the Lancers all day. That one low, we'd seen a lot of high snaps. We hadn't seen one like that. And at this point, it's just a mental thing with the center. As there's another low snap, this time it's a handoff to Holmes. Holmes breaks a tackle, takes it up the middle, and he'll be brought down past the chains. That'll be a Lancers first down.
33, Holmes only carry.
Holmes, the senior back. He's only 5'10", but he's 205 pounds. He's a big, burly guy.
15 only carry.
And as you see, he's just rumbling right through the defense. Just moves his feet. Does a nice job.
Just powerful running by the senior for the first down. And he started this game off with a 13-yard carry. And he just really hasn't been able to get much going the way the Bears have defended. Wide receiver, motion across the formation. Hardesty gives the handoff over to Holmes. Holmes makes a cut, but it's brought down almost instantly thereafter by the Bears. In on the tackle is Mark Cardwell, the senior defensive back from Randolph.
Gain of 4 on the play. 2nd and 6 from the 44-yard line.
You see the replay right there. Cardwell bringing them down.
It's a great tackle.
Too wide to either side of the quarterback, Hardesty. Holmes, the lone man in the backfield. Low snap again. Check down this time to Von Klock on the screen. Not a whole lot going for him.
Lancers right now kind of trying to just work the short game here. Just a little screen. Just as does a little stall route. Just doesn't go anywhere. Just kind of turns towards the quarterback.
And Zach, we saw last week a lot of screens and RPOs out of Framingham, and as much as they struggled offensively, it was those screens and the run-pass options that really opened up the passing game for them offensively. They weren't able to get deep balls going, but they got a lot of yardage off screens and RPOs.
One thing they probably have seen on film, as Hardesty gets a nice run there to get the first down. Or he might be short.
I think he was short. I don't know if that's what he intended to do, because that was another low snap, and I think that might have been intended to be a run.
4th and 1.
It'll be 4th and 1. He'll be just short. I don't know if that was legitimately a read option or if he just kind of had to take it and run with it because of the low snap and the pressure coming.
Hardesty, no, he did a nice job. He read the line, but he slid a little too early, and it's now 4th and short. Bears will call timeout here.
So the Bears burn number 2.
Bears.
25-0 is your score with 2:07 left to go here in the first half. 4th and 1 from the 49-yard line for Worcester State. Still trying to get points on the board. And, Zach, there's going to be an interesting conversation on that Worcester State sideline during the half.
The sophomore, I believe number 72, John Vincent. Excuse me, he's a junior at center right now for... Oh, wait, nope, never mind. I'm reading Bridgewater's.
I believe it's Matt Noonan.
Nope.
Number 62. Oh, 72.
That's Tony Sforza. He's a sophomore.
My depth chart is very incorrect. Thank you to the truck for pointing that out. It is number 72. Under center, not under center, at center for the Lancers. Though they might have switched from Noonan earlier in the game. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. Because the snaps have went from being high to being low. So they might have made a snap change at center because Noonan was who was first on this 2-deep depth chart.
Lancers right now, I think they're trying to get a hard count going. Try to drop the Bears off sides. Bears do not jump.
Nick Canales just signaled to the rest of the defense.
It's a nice job by the Bears defense.
Another timeout called by Bridgewater. Or no, timeout Worcester. Canales, I don't know if you saw, pointed back to the secondary not to move. Trying to not let anyone get fooled by the hard count. And the Bears were not sold. And that's a good sign because they've had some unforced errors. There's been some sloppy plays despite the lead that they hold now.
One thing they teach you in football, especially on these fourth and really short situations, is if the team's going to go hard count, you do not move unless that ball is snapped. And the defensive line and the entire defense does a nice job there.
Yeah, if you're a D lineman, you just got to be looking at the center's hands. You cannot be listening to the QB's cadence. As you can see, the Lancers going a little bit heavy out here. Colin Lyons, the senior tight end, out there now, lined up as a blocker. They'll have a fullback in the formation as well. It's Norfleet Jr. And Holmes in the backfield behind him. One wide to either side of the quarterback, Hardesky. As Holmes was almost dragged down, broke the initial tackle by Kode Satome. And the Bears think they stopped him.
From where the ref is, it looks like he's just short, just shy. We've had a lot of these in this game. And it will be Bears ball.
Another 4th and 1 stop for the Bears. Worcester State opts to run it yet again. You see that snap hit the ground and rolled to Hardesky. See, Satome had the tackle, but Holmes was able to work his way out of it. And then Mamone, Souza. There's a lot of people, like you were saying, gang tackling, just meeting Holmes there after he was able to get out of the backfield.
Now the Bears in a great field position right at the 50. Looking to close this half in a 2-minute drill.
1:59 left, 1 timeout for the Bears. Look for them to play the sideline, potentially, at very least, get themselves into field goal range. As there's the man under center, the freshman from Providence, Rhode Island, Jaden Moseley, 2 passing touchdowns on the day for him so far. As it seems he has all but officially been named the QB1 of this Bears team going forward. Showed out last week, earned himself the start this week. And now he'll work to run the 2-minute drill with 1:59 left on the clock.
Bears ball, 1st and 10.
For a lot of play action in this drive right here, as we've seen earlier in this game.
2 wide left, 1 wide right. Tight end in the formation, Ethan Brown. Play action. Moseley looking to sling it all the way downfield and dropping right in front of the wide receiver register. Incomplete.
I think it's the first deep ball that Moseley has missed. As I said, play action. This time, a little more pressure. Just misses register.
Yeah, I think Moseley might have got that off a little bit quicker than he would have liked because he saw that man coming from his blind side. And it'll be incomplete. Again, play action. This time Moseley just has to drop it off to his right. No intentional grounding.
Just heavy pressure. That's number 7. Dominic Anise, the linebacker, the senior linebacker, just comes unblocked.
Yeah, Moseley just trying to sidearm it, but nobody in the area, just had to get the ball away. As now the Bears have 4 out wide. Dana Kinche near side. He caught a big deep ball pass last weekend. As Moseley moves up in the pocket looking for the big hitter and right into the hands of the Worcester State defensive back. Intercepted, the first of his college career for the freshman quarterback on the pick. Griffin Metcalf, the sophomore defensive back from Leicester.
This is just a bad read by Moseley. He has all the time in the world, and he kind of just chucks it into the middle of the field. The safety just sitting there over the top. Makes a nice play.
Yeah, I think he might have been looking for Mohel Mitchell on the cross, but even then, you have plenty of time on the clock to work with. 1:39. They'll spot the ball at the 19-yard line, I believe. 1st and 10 now for the Lancers with 1:39 left to work.
Bears will most likely be in a zone here, not trying to let anything deep.
Stacking the right side of the formation where the Lancers, as that one, I believe, drops incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Lancers once again going to that little flood concept, just having everybody roll out right.
It was a good snap. As just a wobbly pass, he was looking for Williams. Holmes in the backfield, 4 wide set for the Lancers. Askew drop back, moves up, and is taken down by Daniel Olade.
Defensive line does a nice job getting pressure here. Kind of forces him upfield, and Olade stands back and makes a nice tackle.
Daniel Olade. Loss of 1 on the play. 3rd and 11 from the 18-yard line.
It is a running clock.
So now under a minute left to play in the half. 3rd and 11 is the down and distance from the 18-yard line following the 1-yard loss on the sack by Daniel Olade. Again, trying with a hard count. I think this time he might have got encroachment.
I think it was Canales who moved on that. Saw him flinch just a little bit.
The Bears pointing to the Worcester State offensive line as if it was a false start. It looked like encroachment on Canales. But Worcester State's going to be walking back. That is a false start. Wow. I'm sorry, Nick Canales. It's going to be a false start on the Lancers, pushing them back even further. That will, at the very least, stop the clock with 48 seconds left to go in the half. But less than ideal field position now for Worcester State. Even more so than it was prior.
And for the Lancers, you can't have that with this much time left. Because now you're in a throwing situation. If it goes incomplete, that clock stops and you give the Bears another opportunity. As we see, it's the right tackle.
Trevor Johnson, the guilty party. 10-second runoff, so 38 seconds left to go. As it's 3rd and 16 now, ball spotted on the 13-yard line.
Bears running a 2-deep safety and running man coverage on the backside.
Bears don't want the Lancers to get anything here. Trying to pitch the first half shutout.
If you're the Bears right now, you got to play the line of scrimmage, especially if they're the 2 high safeties. You got to know where the line is.
Lone man in the backfield is Holmes. Another flood concept, 3 wide to the right of the quarterback, Askew. He'll just hand this one off to Holmes. Holmes makes a lot a miss. And takes it up for a fairly modest gain. I don't know if he was able to get his way back to the line.
No, but that actually was, I will give it to the Lancers. That was a smart play there, just going with a simple draw right here to Holmes. It forces the clock to run, and now I think we're going to go into the half.
That'll do it for the first half of play. Bears lead 25-0 here on homecoming weekend. We'll be right back with you after the break here on BTV.
At the end of the first half, Bears 25, Lancers.
Being in a community that cares is how you're going to get where you want to go.
Classes are held in the evening and late afternoon.
It offers smaller class sizes. It's a convenient location.
But I've also been given the opportunity to take a graduate assistantship, get hired as an intern.
Career services here at Bridgewater has been a great resource for me.
Bears lead 25-0 going into the second half of play. Following a huge first half, 2 passing touchdowns by Jaden Moseley. You see the numbers right there, 199 total yards for the Bears, 43 for the Lancers. The Bears only 3 for 8 passing, but that's all they need. 2 of those completions include a 60-yard and a 30-yard touchdown, one by Jack McCarthy, the other Josh Register. The rushing numbers as well, 68 yards on the ground for the Bears, just 2 for the Lancers. Third down efficiency. You just see the Bears dominating this game so far on all sides of the ball.
Yeah, as we saw last week, even the Lancers are having some trouble with negative 14 rushing yards. They've lost a lot of yardage from all these fumbles.
Yeah, they've had a lot of high snaps that the quarterback and even we saw the running back Nico Holmes have to go and pick up way back in the backfield, and that's resulted in a lot of negative yardage for them. So you get a shot right there of Bears quarterback S.P. Pagano.
Nico Holmes
up on the side.
Nico Holmes right now has 62 yards on the ground, averaging about 3.6 yards. So right now, Holmes really the only consistent type of offense from the Lancers.
Yeah, and he has 17 carries. The Bears in the running game, 8 carries, 42 yards for Trevor Nunes. He leads the Bears, 5.2 yards per carry. Isaiah Wright's got 6 for 16, good for 2.5. And then Dallas Murphy and Ryan Coonan have also seen work in the run game. Of course, Jack McCarthy leads both teams in receiving. He has more receiving yards for the Bears than the entire Lancers team combined. 1 reception, 60 yards, and a touchdown for the senior wide receiver. Ethan Brown right behind him with 41 yards on 1 catch. And Josh Register, 1 reception, 30 yards, and a touchdown. So the Bears' only 3 completions have all gone for 30-plus yards, 2 of which going for touchdowns. While they haven't completed a lot of passes, they've been very efficient with the ones they have. Of course, the Lancers deferred the opening kick, so now they'll kick off to the Bears here. Or opted to receive the opening kick, I'm sorry. And now they'll kick off to the Bears here to start things off in the second half. Isaiah Wright is pummeled down around the 25.
Sire James, the running back from Stratford, Connecticut, with a big hit right there. A little bit of a bobble from Wright. Just no blocking, just absolutely just manhandled.
Great tackle on special teams there by Sire James. The Bears will get the ball from the 26-yard line. Yard past where I thought they had. 3 wide receivers lined up to the right of Moseley. The running back's Nunes. He'll get the handoff. Nunes takes it up the middle, breaking some tackles. He gets it just behind the line to gain. Actually, he got it past the line to gain. They'll move the chains.
We just see here the tackle and the guard just pulling, creating a hole for Nunes. And Nunes has done it all year. He's been very patient, able to find those holes, and gets a nice run there.
11 yards on the carry for the senior running back. This time they bring Ethan Brown into the formation at tight end. Coonan, the motion man. And he'll get the ball in the misdirection. Ryan Coonan on the end round, taking it up the left side. He's got plenty of space. Ryan Coonan finally forced out of bounds after a huge gain for the Bears. Forcing him out down the sideline was Anthony Zy'Kie.
Just a little misdirection as you see Coonan coming in motion. Moseley just flips it back to him. Nobody on that side for the Lancers, streaks down the sideline, possible saving tackle for a touchdown from the Lancers, but what a gain, what a play call by the Bears.
E.C. Mitchell was kind of upfield, but Coonan had a lot of space to work with and a huge gain. Coonan, the wide receiver, has seen 3 carries on the game already as Nunes makes a good spin move, stays on his feet. Trevor Nunes trying to keep his balance, but finally taken down after gaining the first. Fighting for every yard.
A little bit of a tightrope back there for Nunes. Spins off a man, avoids that tackle, but just gets tripped up.
Set that man in the dirt. He was able to recover and barely get the shoestring on Trevor Nunes. Nunes gets another carry, makes 1 cut, spinning away from tacklers, and finally brought down. Very modest gain on the carry for Nunes. His 11th carry of the game.
Tries to bounce it inside, can't find anything, spins off to the outside, but the Lancers do a nice job there.
Yeah, Metcalf on the secondary effort, able to bring him down.
That is the first play of this drive for the Bears that doesn't result in a first down.
Isaiah Wright in the backfield now. They have Rinta and Brown out there lined up at tight end. Handoff goes to Wright. Wright, some straightforward running. Picks up a few on his 7th carry of the game.
Wright, not a big back, but he loves looking for contact. Just as soon as he gets hit, just keeps turning those legs, gets those extra yards.
Yeah, Isaiah Wright is a smaller guy, but he does not play to his size. He plays like he's 6'2". The way he just runs through people, or at least they are tried to, as Rinta moves across the formation in motion. Wright takes it up the middle and is brought down after a gain of about 2.
Right there once again, as we mentioned, looking for contact, just kind of drives his feet.
Oh, he'll get a gain of 4, a little bit better than I thought from this angle, a little bit harder
Going
for
for
us
it
to
on
see.
4th. Sorry about that.
4th and 2. Tight ends motion across the formation to the left. Handoff taken by Isaiah Wright. And he'll be short of the line to gain here on 4th and 2, as the Bears defense is going to head on out. Ball spotted on the 6-yard line following the failed 4th down conversion.
That's number 8, Ebenezer Akoma J.U., the senior defensive lineman, making a nice tackle there.
Lancers ball 1st and 10 from the 6-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 6-yard line now for the Lancers. One man in the backfield, 3 out wide, tight end in the formation as well. As it's Holmes taking the carry, cutting it up the right side, dragging a defender with him as he gets the ball across the line to gain for the 1st down.
We talked about this at halftime. Holmes right now being the only consistent player for the Lancers. Does a nice job bouncing to the outside. He kind of just drags the defender, keeps turning his legs. Gets enough for a 1st down.
73 yards on the ground for the senior running back Holmes, more than every offensive player on the Lancers roster combined, as he'll get another carry here. Makes a good cut and will take it up for a couple here on his 1st down carry.
Another low snap here. We saw that problem entirely in the 1st half, but nice recovery there just to get out and get some yards.
Now, we saw the Lancers switch centers, and they went from high snaps to low snaps. So despite the personnel switch, they really haven't been able to fix the real issue at hand, which has just been how accurate the snaps have been.
Yeah, Tony Saforza still in there at center, but will go absolutely nowhere.
A lot of flood concept from both these teams here today, and that time on the carry, it got all of nothing. Loss of 4. Quentin Browder screamed into the backfield and tore Nico Holmes to the ground. The transfer over from Wichita Baptist, played D2 for his first couple of years in college, came over to Bridgewater State and is making an impact from that linebacker spot. As you see, bring him down for a loss of 4 there. Motion man. Moving up in the pockets, Hardesty, and he is hammered, sandwiched between 2 Bears defenders. It's Nick Canales and Mark DiGiorolamo, and Hardesty is down.
That one definitely didn't feel good. As you see in the replay here, a decently good snap there, but just pressure inside forced him to step up, and that's Olade and Canales just sandwiching him. He's gonna be feeling. He's limping off the field right now.
DiGiorolamo tried to help him up, and Hardesty stayed down. 4th and 12 from the 15-yard line. They'll send out Saga to punt.
Officials timeout for an injury on the offense.
Hardesty wasn't able to make it off the field. He's down at about the 20-yard line, maybe 15 feet or so away from the sideline. And this is not what you want to see happen to any player as he's limping off the sideline there. But Worcester State already down to their second string QB in Hardesty. Iote got hurt. It's looking like a separated shoulder from last week against Westfield State. And now Hardesty walking off the field. It looks like it'll be Adam Hill who will come out for the next drive for the Lancers. As a wobbling punt fielded by Como. He didn't call for a fair catch. He's able to get a couple extra yards, but is taken down shortly thereafter.
Looks like he ran right into the punter here. Oh, no, he was shoved into the punter. Good risky play by Cuomo not to, call a fair catch.
Bears ball, 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line.
1st and 10 now from the 44 for the Bears. McCarthy out wide to the right. We know Moseley likes to look for him deep. It's Nunes in the backfield. And Rinta and Brown at tight end. Hand off to Trevor Nunes, makes one man miss, and takes the ball up for the first down.
Once again, Nunes able to find a hole. And we're getting a lot of credit to Nunes, but a lot of this credit is going to those front five on the offensive line who have done a nice job opening these holes for Nunes.
Moseley takes a snap, handoff to Nunes again. Nunes trying to spin away from tacklers, but it's wrapped up before he can get that far away.
It's Dominic Anise, senior linebacker, with the tackle right there.
It'll be a gain of 1 for the senior on the carry. Good job by Anise wrapping him up before he could go any further. Tight ends coming across the formation in motion. Moseley takes the snap, play action pass. He'll look deep down the sideline for Josh Register, a little bit too far in front, and that one will drop incomplete. Second time he's looked for Register deep and been unable to complete the pass, both times down that right sideline. Of course, he does have that one completion to him for 30 yards and 6. But that time, it'll result in nothing.
Officials timeout for the scoreboard.
The officials called a timeout. As you could hear, the scoreboard is currently down here in the stadium. Get a nice shot there.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, good.
So you can still see it on your broadcast, luckily, but it was down here
3rd and 9.
on the field. And even though the broadcast one's right in front of me, I tend to look down over there at the scoreboard on the field, which is probably a mistake because that one's not always accurate. The broadcast one is. As Moseley now takes the snap a little bit low, drops back looking for a pass. A lot of pressure. Moseley moving to his right. We talked about how he can move. There's going to be a flag. That'll be a holding as Moseley picked up a decent gain on the run, but that'll be going back.
It's the first time we've seen Moseley able to use his legs, and this time able to get enough yards for the first.
Holding. Offense, number 62. 10-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
It'll be Jonah Villaro, the guilty party on the hold. And some good running there by Moseley. We talked earlier about how he hasn't had to showcase his ability to scramble, but he was able to here.
Just does a nice job. He just gave him the pocket.
Holding on the offense.
They called the penalty on Villaro, but I think looking at that replay, I don't think it was him who had the holding. There was a holding, but it looked like to me that it might have been John Vincent, number 72, not 62, on the call. Nevertheless, the officials made the right call. They just charged it to the wrong man. As it's 3rd and 19 from the 41 now. 3 wide left, 1 to the right. It's Akinche, the lone man to the right of Moseley. Moseley, he'll be forced to run again. This time, just has to throw it to the sideline. Worcester State's looking for an intentional grounding, but Trevor Nunes was in the area, so I don't think they're going to get it here.
I think Worcester State's coaching staff wants an intentional grounding, as you can see on the sideline. But regardless, intentional grounding or not, it will be 4th and long.
And Moseley was out of the box anyway, and Nunes was around the ball, close enough to, I think you can justify not calling that, as the officials will deliberate whether or not that was the right call, and they'll give it to him. So intentional grounding on Jaden Moseley, and that'll back the Bears up even further for the punt. 3rd and 19 was already fairly far back, but they'll move back.
Intentional grounding, offense, number 17. Penalty is a loss of down at the spot of the foul. It's 4th down.
Bears right now with 2 promising opening drives in the second half. Just mental mistakes is killing you right now.
They're still trying to get something going in the second half. They do have that nice 25-0 lead. As now Drake's on to punt on 4th and long. Low snap on the punt, but a fantastic punt by Drake, sending the return man almost all the way back into the end zone. And the Bears should be able to get him down in the 10, but he makes a nice cut. Finally seems to be wrapped up a little bit past the 10. They finally blow the play dead after they let it go for a while. Lance Williams making something out of nothing on the return there.
Lance Williams just able to get out of the first 3 men tackling him right there. Just able to escape, but Bears do a nice job collectively coming together and making the tackle. See a wrap-up by Hunter Hastings with a tackle on that one. Bears possibly looking to force another turnover here.
So Hardesty still out there under center after limping off on the last series. We thought we might see Adam Hill come out for this one, but Hardesty seems to be good, as the first play will be a handoff to Nico Holmes. Not going to get much, and looks like Hardesty, he's just rubbing that leg that he seemed to have tweaked on the last series.
Lance is looking just a little stretch concept on the outside, but he kind of jumps back into the inside. And nice job by the Bears defenders to force him back inside.
You'll see how Hardesty moves in the pocket if he's forced around by the Bears defensive front, because he did limp off the field, so he might still be feeling that, as it'll be another handoff to Holmes. Holmes trying to get something, but he is stuffed.
Holmes going to lose yardage on that one, but Hardesty right now, he just does not look comfortable in that pocket. As number 2, Greg Dimitri with the initial tackle.
Greg Dimitri last week had his first career college interception and the first interception of the season for the Bears. They still only have one on their ledger so far, and I know they'd like a second here with plenty of time left to play. 5:14 about remains in the third quarter. As this time Hardesty will look to pass, dumps it off right side to Holmes, and he'll get some but not enough.
Lance is going with a little bit of a triple option right there, faking the handoff inside. As we'll see here on the replay. Fakes it to the fullback and just a little swing pass to Holmes. Was able to get some yardage, but Bears do a nice job tackling him to set up the 4th down and punting.
They'll give Holmes a gain of 6 on the play. Still short of the chains at 4th and 3. And now the Lancers will be forced to punt. Both teams looking for their first score here in the second half. Sacco, a little bit of a wobbly punt, takes a bounce, fielded by Como, and he is smoked. Gets right back up after getting drilled.
Kind of just takes off the bounce here, doesn't have fair catch, and that was number 36, Connor Daly, who was a tight end, who making that tackle.
I have mixed feelings about a tight end wearing 36, but he also plays defense. One of a couple guys who plays both sides of the ball. Also a safety, which is more reasonable to wear number, or it is reasonable to wear number 36 as a safety. As you see, he's lined up high right now. As they'll leave the ball on the ground for Trevor Nunes, and Nunes working with some space, cuts it up the right side, finally forced out of bounds after moving the chains on the first down run.
Once again, you got the pulling guard and the tight end creating a nice hole for Nunes. And Nunes is pretty quick and able to move up that sideline. Nice job there. Another big play for this Bears offense.
Gain of 18 on the carry there. Trevor Nunes approaching the century mark on the ground here today. Moseley with a handoff to Nunes again, makes a cut to make a man miss in the backfield, but wrapped up very quickly. And I believe Nunes was looking for a face mask call, but he won't get one.
Nunes trying to find something inside.
Officials timeout for an injury on the defense.
And there's a man down for the Lancers. You see him on your screen right there.
It'll be Jaden Karen, the senior linebacker.
Wasn't really involved in the play, but it looks like something in that left calf, maybe the left ankle of the linebacker. He's getting checked out right now.
It's a good sign, able to get up and walk off.
Yeah, walking off with some help, but he's not limping, so relatively good sign there. Again, not something you want to see happen to any of these guys. They got class on Monday and a bus ride back to Worcester tonight, as it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 37. McKinchey, the lone man, lined up to the right side of Jaden Moseley, still without a reception in the game. Tight end coming across the formation. Moseley drops back, looking for the pass, forced out behind him, and he'll just throw that one incomplete.
Bridgewater kind of looking like they wanted to go a little screen pass there, but that one was covered nicely by Worcester. And Moseley, thankful he didn't throw his second interception of the game on a bad ball.
They're not going to give Moseley an intentional grounding, I don't think. And that was more of an intentional grounding, at least from our perspective up here, than the one they did call on him. As now it's 3rd and 10 from the 37. Akinche moves to the left side. Moseley leaves the ball on the ground for Nunes. Nunes able to get the first down. So Trevor Nunes with the pickup on 3rd and 10. And you just can't let up a first down on the ground on 3rd and long.
Nunes just does a nice job bouncing in between his linemen and able to get that 11-yard gain. That's a nice, he's been very consistent all day.
John Vincent out there helping grab some extra yardage as well, as Moseley will hand it off to him once again. Nunes takes this one straight up the middle for a solid gain on first down. Up over the century mark at this point in the game is the senior running back, as we have the replay for you here, just taking it straight up through the middle for a gain of 6. 2nd and 4 now for the Bears.
Got a little help from his lineman right there, too. Definitely needs to take a breather after those nice couple of runs.
That he will, as Isaiah Wright comes back on. Dana Kinche talking it over with Jaden Moseley. And Mohel Mitchell now moving across. It'll be a carry here for Isaiah Wright, who at the very least got the first down.
See a motion man Wright just able to bounce through the middle there and just able to get just enough for the first down.
Again, carrying a defender with him. It was Metcalf on his back for a little bit. Gain of 6 on the play, 2 more than they needed. 1st and 10 from the 14 now for the Bears offense.
Gotta score here. You're too good at field position.
Askew out there in the backfield now. And he'll get his first touch of the game. Zy'Kie Askew fighting through some contact. And I believe they'll call him just short.
Pretty good for your first carry in the game. just carrying defenders. And a nice gain. I thought he had enough for a first down.
2nd and 1 will be the official spot from the 5. The senior Nunes comes back out in the backfield. It's Rinta, the fullback, out there lined up with him as well. Heavy set here for the Bears on 2nd and 1. And Nunes picks up the first down, but is stopped before he's able to break the plane.
As you said, coming out in the jumbo package, just looking to get a push inside. Nunes just does just enough just to get the first down. But I know he wants to get in that end zone.
Same formation here for the Bears, except the tight end switch sides. Nunes, the ball's free, and I believe the Bears were able to maintain possession. Get the replay right here.
Nunes just always punched out. Bears do a nice job of jumping on it, but that's the type of thing that cannot happen.
Jonathan Martin's able to dive on it and maintain possession for the Bears. 25-0 still your score after a scoreless third quarter. Bears still have the ball deep in Lancers territory, and they'll be looking to punch it in with the first play of the fourth quarter. And get a look at the Bears cheer team right there, coming off their 8th national championship, 6 consecutive. As sides of the field switch here.
That includes brick oven pizzas and special late night eats. Be sure to dance the evening away to New England's premier party band, the Sultans, as they play all your favorite hits. It is certainly a Bear Bash you don't want to miss.
So spot of the ball is on the 5-yard line as the Bear offense is back out. In the backfield is Isaiah Wright, and there's no quarterback out there for the Bears. Once again, it's Dallas Murphy. It looks like they'll go Wildcat. We saw him run 2 plays out of Wildcat in the first half. Has 1 carry for 6 yards. And then
going quick here.
Had a handoff as well. Wright goes out wide, actually. Nunes still in the backfield. Wright motioning across the formation and taking it up the middle for maybe a little bit of a gain is Dallas Murphy.
31 Dallas Murphy on the carry.
Bridgewater kind of going a little fake handoff to the outside, hoping to get something up the middle, but the Lancers are ready on the inside.
Murphy gets a gain of 2. That'll leave the ball at the 3-yard line. And Jaden Moseley's back out there to take over under center after the Wildcat play, but that'll have to wait as there's a timeout.
First charge timeout. Bridgewater State.
First timeout for the Bears in the second half. First timeout for either team as Coach Vario will talk things over here on 3rd and goal. Good opportunity for the Bears to extend upon this lead. Obviously, they haven't scored since the second half, or the second quarter, I'm sorry. Trying to punch one in here.
Lancers did a great job in that third quarter. Bears had some opportunities to score, but that defense kind of they held their position and didn't really give up anything.
Yeah, a lot of drives that ended up empty because of some good Lancers defense late. We saw Moseley take a big shot for Josh Register that landed incomplete. That would have been a touchdown, most likely. And the Bears really haven't got a lot going in the passing game. The passes they've hit on have been big, 2 of them for touchdowns. But there hasn't been a lot going for them through the air as 3 wide receivers left, 1 to the right, Nunes in the backfield. Moseley rolls out to his right, looking for a man. He'll take this himself, and Moseley is drilled down the sideline. Goodness. Gets right back up, and here's the replay.
Moseley trying to get out there. Nunes with a good block, but that's John McMasters III coming out of nowhere to lick
And McMaster's from across the formation coming out unblocked. Shane Drake on for the field goal attempt. He took all the field goals last week after Joey Nassau struggled with them against Plymouth State in the Bears' loss. And that one is good. 28-0 is your score. Shane Drake good from 19 yards out. And the Bears have scored for the first time in the second half. 13:37 left to play. And the Lancers still looking for their first score of the game. The Bears so far 7 straight quarters of shutout football, looking to make it 8 straight with 13:37 left to do so.
Yeah, defensively, they've been very consistent these past 2 weeks. You said 7 quarters scoreless, and they look to continue that.
You know what I will say? The snaps have really cleaned up for the Lancers in this second half. They did, like we said, switch centers, and that seemed to have worked. They've had a couple of different guys out there, and it seems finally like they've been able to get them off clean. That being said, now that I've brought that up, that's probably going to change, because that just seems to be the way things go. Kick from Drake will just go out of the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 from 35. Or 25. I don't know why I said 30.
Well, it's 30 in the NFL, not here.
Well, it said 35 on the scoreboard down there. I was looked at it, and then I was like, no, it's 25. As it's still Hardesty out there. New face in the backfield, though, for the Lancers. It's number 21, Syer James, who had a very good tackle on special teams. Now out in the backfield.
Not sure what we're waiting on here. Looks like the sideline's giving them a couple hand signals. But they'll end up in that trips formation.
3 to the left, 1 to the right. And it's James in the backfield. Low snap. Handoff James. James. No, it's a play action. It sold me as they hit the pass down the far sideline, making a man miss. And finally taken down. But there is a flag and a player down for the Lancers. What I'm hearing, it might be roughing the passer, as it looks like Hardesty is the man down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 99. 15-yard penalty from the end of the play, automatic first down.
Joseph Parisi, the junior defensive lineman, getting hit with the penalty as it happens out of frame, but you can see the tail end of it. And Hardesty is still down. So a huge gain on the reception, on the play action that fooled me, unfortunately.
Officials timeout for an injury on the offense.
And now Adam Hill is out on the field and will be under center. So the 3rd string quarterback for the Lancers is the man who will more than likely have to finish this game out, as Hardesty is still down after the roughing the passer call. And Hardesty, he was already banged up a little bit. He had to limp off the field after their first drive of the second half. And now he's able to get up and walk away under his own power. Maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him, but it's reassuring to see him able to get up and walk away from that, because he was down for quite some time.
I know we mentioned earlier that this is already their 2nd string quarterback, and now having to move to their 3rd string, you kind of got to ask yourself, how much prep does this guy have?
I'm sure they didn't come into this game expecting Adam Hill to take the field, as they send Williams in motion. Hand off to James. James breaks one tackle and is taken down the far sideline.
21, Zy'Kie James on the carry.
James just does a nice job right here, as we see in the replay. Low snap, but he does a nice job just bouncing to the outside, just trying to get the edge. Gets a nice 4-yard gain on that.
Second and 6.
Adam Hill, the senior out of Lunenburg. One of many Lunenburg QBs to have played in the mascot. Chris Kostic of Plymouth State, another one. As Adam Hill with a tall task here, facing a 28-0 deficit. And that play is wrapped up quickly. Not going to get a whole lot, as this Bears defense continues to be strong even late in this game.
Bears just coming with a blitz package right there. Comes right off the edge and right through the line. Just no answer for this Bears defensive line and their linebackers.
We haven't seen Nico Holmes in quite some time, and he's good. He's over on the sideline standing up, but you're not going to want to keep your starting running back out there in a game that looks fairly out of hand. As Hill takes the snap, rolls to his left, slings this one, looking for the pass, and making the catch is Lance Williams. My goodness. Worcester State finally puts points on the board in an incredible fashion. The third-string quarterback comes out and slings one to the wide receiver Williams.
It's just a flood concept here. He just lets this one fly. This is all Williams on this play. Just goes over the top of the defender. He just absolutely mossed him.
Marvelous Nicholson, the victim on that play, as an incredible catch by Lance Williams. Gives the Lancers 6. And now Freitas on for the PAT. It's good, and the Lancers finally put points on the board. 28-7 is your score with 11:38 left in the fourth quarter.
Bears 28, Lancers 7.
What a catch
I'm
by
so
Lance Williams.
That was incredible.
That was only his second reception of the game. His first went for 3 yards. My goodness. We've seen a lot of great these past 2 weeks, as we get a replay of it here. Again, just up and over Marvelous Nicholson for 6. We saw Kinche make a very similar catch last week, not for 6, but for a huge gain. And Ethan Brown had one as well. A lot of similar catches these past couple of weeks. And a lot of credit's got to go to Adam Hill coming in this game, probably not expecting to play. Entered the season 3rd on the depth chart, and here in his first drive in, absolutely slinging it, and finds Williams for 6. And you know, maybe that's what it is. He's in his senior year, thought he was going to be the 3rd stringer, comes in. He doesn't care if he throws a pick, just trying to put points on the board, and that he does. It's Francois Wright back out to return for the Bears. They try the onside kick. And Worcester State thinks they got it. Bears not ready for the onside kick, and the Lancers recover. Get the replay for you here.
The Bears just completely unprepared. It was a nice pooch by Freitas. And Griffin Metcalf comes up with it in the dog pile.
So the Lancers not writing this one off with 11:34 left to go in the game. They'll get the ball from the 49-yard line. And Adam Hill will look to repeat what he did last drive, following the touchdown. Looks like they brought Holmes back out there in the backfield. Low snap for Hill. Holmes blocking. Hill down the field and hits his man. Adam Hill
Dylan
with a big
Hall.
hit to Dylan Hall on first down.
It's good pressure here, but Hill just able to get it off. And Hall absorbs the big hit and gets the pass down to the 30.
Just perfect placement in between Marvelous Nicholson and Matt Mamone to find Dylan Hall for the big reception. 3 wide left, 1 to the right. It's Holmes in the backfield. Low snap for the quarterback, Hill. He just launches this one, and all it finds is end zone grass. 2nd and 10.
Hill looking for that same pass he had for that touchdown just a few moments ago. But this time, completely throws it in the wrong direction. Receiver on the left, he throws it more towards the middle of the field.
I think that was less of a miscommunication, probably more. He just had to get that one away with pressure in the backfield. But still, like you said, middle of the field, no receiver in the area. 2 wide to either side of Adam Hill now. It remains Holmes in the backfield. Hill drops back, Holmes blocking, Hill looking up the field for Lance Williams. But way too high for the wide receiver. Now it's 3rd and 10 from the 30-yard line.
Bears doing a nice job here, getting pressure. A little stunt off the edge, and just forces Hill to kind of loft it into the air.
It was Greg Dimitri applying pressure from the linebacker spot. Good job picking up the blitz, though, from Nico Holmes. But the Bears now with an opportunity to send Worcester to the sideline empty-handed. 3rd and 10 from the 30-yard line. Low snap, almost picking it up off the ground as Hill hands it off. And not getting much out of it to Nico Holmes.
Bears defensive line applying a lot of pressure right now, a lot of heavy blitz packages, and that run going absolutely nowhere. That's Thomas Rocha with another tackle. I believe he's the leading tackler in today's game for the Bears.
4th and 9 from the 29, and at this point in the game, just about everything's going to be 4th down territory for the Lancers. And they'll try here. A little bit surprised they didn't empty the backfield. 2 wide to either side of the receiver, Hill. They'll send Von Locke across the formation. Rolling out to his left is Hill. He just lofts this one as he's pressured heavily, and it drops incomplete. So the Bears force the turnover on downs after the Lancers were able to complete some long passes.
Once again, rolling out to this little flood. Tries to look deep, but I believe he's hit on the arm there, and that one just goes careening out of bounds.
Wichita Baptist man Quentin Browder applying the pressure. And with 10:04 left, the Bears hold on 28-7. Not letting up another touchdown. Moseley joined in the backfield with Trevor Nunes. Hand off to Nunes, and he'll get a handful.
Nunes coming out of in the first half with around 5.2 yards a carry. We've seen this pretty consistently throughout the second half.
Yeah, he's probably increased his yards per carry at this point. Picks up 6 on that one, and that's all you need. 5-6 yards per carry. It's good for a first down every couple. As he'll get another one here looking for the first down. But the Lancers do a good job of wrapping him up before he can cross.
I think they gave it to him on that. Yes, they did.
They will. So falling forward is Trevor Nunes for a gain of 5, just 1 more than he needed.
Gets a little push there from number 77, Matthew LaFonte. This is enough just to get that first.
Some help from the big left tackle gets the Bears another first down. Josh Register with some pre-snap movement. And lit up in the backfield is Trevor Nunes.
Jamison Metcalf just comes screaming inside, as we see here.
Launched out of a cannon.
Comes right through the B gap right there, off of his corner position, and just lights up Nunes.
And Metcalf's fired up, as he should be after making that kind of play, sticking the Bears with a 5-yard loss. Moseley drops back looking to pass. Looking for the screen, lofts one. Nunes had it and dropped it. There's a flag on the play, and Trevor Nunes is helped to his feet by John Vincent.
believe that will be holding on the defense. Nunes got grabbed right before he even had a chance to catch the ball. We'll see right here.
Nunes almost able to make something out of nothing on the screen there. Almost got a piece of it, wasn't able to hang on. And we'll see what the call is down on the field in just a second here.
Ineligible man downfield.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 52. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Penalties declined. Anton Vasquez, the guilty party.
Oh yeah, he got ahead of himself.
And just right in and out of the arms of Trevor Nunes was the screen pass. That will be 3rd and 15 from the 35-yard line for the Lancers. Moseley takes the snap, drops back, looking for a pass, having to move around in the pocket, and now will just have to tuck it and run. Jaden Moseley gets back to the line of scrimmage, but won't get much more, as Shane Drake and the punt team will be sent out.
Moseley does a nice job. It's a good pickup by Isaiah Wright, picking off the outside linebacker. Just enough to give Moseley a little hole, but there was nothing in front of Moseley that would have let him get the first down.
4th and 5 now for Shane Drake and the punt team. 8:05 left on the clock. Lancers still trail by 21. To Williams back there to return. High punt, bouncing out of bounds off the hop. We'll see what the exact spot is.
Should be about the 20-yard line.
But another solid punt from Shane Drake. Only punted once during the first half, 47 yards on that one. Which is just about all you can ask for from a punter. As that one was within the 20 as well. This one will be directly on the 20. 1st and 10 for Adam Hill. Drops back under some pressure. Screen pass finds Nico Holmes, who takes it up the near sideline. Still in bounds, finally brought to the ground. After a decent gain of around 10 or 11 to move the chains.
Nice play by the Lancers here. The Bears have been coming after Hill a little more, sending more of a blitz. They read that and they were able to get the little halfback dump screen. And Holmes does a nice job of getting upfield and getting some positive yards.
Official call will be a gain of 11 on the screen pass. And we really didn't see that much work in the receiving game for Nico Holmes during the early stages of this one, as Hill's forced out to his right, slings this one incomplete, and there is no one in the area, but it'll just be an incompletion.
That should be an intentional grounding if I'm not wrong.
It should. There was no wide receiver or offensive player on that side of the field, as that'll just be a 2nd down.
Fakes a handoff, but good pressure there from Aquino right there.
A little bit surprised about the call there. But 2nd and 10 now, low snap for Hill. Hill trying to send this one down the sideline for Drew Von Clock, but it goes incomplete. Cody Satome almost catching it on the Bears sideline.
I believe it was the head coach, Jovier, was almost with the catch.
Satome, who was behind him, looked like he was going up for it too.
Little snap, kind of just throws it into nowhere. And yeah, that's Jovier right there trying to make the grab, but drops it.
Yeah, he was a defensive guy in college, so we'll let it slide. Lancers getting some signals from the bench.
They got to hurry up. They don't have much time.
3 wide left, 1 to the right, and that's going to be a delay of game.
I think they just got the timeout off just in time.
First charge timeout, Worcester State.
Talk about waiting to the last second. Worcester State just getting the timeout. Hill lines up in shotgun, lined up to his left, Nico Holmes. Same formation they were in before calling the timeout, as it's Williams in motion. Hill drops back, moves over to his left, trying to hit the pass, intercepted by the Bears. Green grass ahead of him, and he'll take it in for 6. Second interception of the season for the Bears, Mario Francisco Johnson,
who's a wide receiver and a freshman.
The freshman from Braintree. Taking it in for 6. Second defensive touchdown of the game for the Bears, 34-7. And the kid is hyped up after his first collegiate turnover.
We see here they're trying to roll out right, but try to go back or try to roll out left, but the Bears are not fooled and take it in for 6.
Great awareness by Francisco Johnson. And his teammates are fired up for him after he gets his first college turnover. Just something you love to see. And even better than his first college turnover, he housed it. So Joey Nasso on for the extra point, trying to make it 35-7. Pagano with the hold, and the kick is good. 6:46 left to go here in the first quarter. 2 defensive touchdowns for the Bears, a pair of safeties. It has been a very good game defensively for them.
Yes, indeed it has. As you said, 2 turnovers for touchdowns and 2 safeties. This Bears defense has got to be fired up.
You know, the last drive looked a little bit iffy. After the touchdown, Worcester State started to drive on them a little bit, passing, and the Bears were able to clean that up. And now hold a 28-point lead.
Even with the 2 safeties, it looks like they've scored 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's nice that despite the safeties, it's a fairly aesthetic score thanks to the field goal by Shane Drake, who's now out there for the kickoff. Williams out there to return. Here's the kick from Drake. A screamer right into the hands of Mitchell. Cuts it up left side, trying to find some space, and he'll find nothing but a sea of red in Peter Celestino.
Catches on the liner here, tries to work back to his left, but Celestino does a nice job just making a nice proper form tackle. I believe this is second tackle on kickoff. I could be wrong.
Solid game on special teams from the junior. Made the switch over to defensive back from quarterback this offseason. Played a lot of special teams last year as the third string QB and did pretty good. Saw some work in the return game as well, as now a dump off pass to Holmes, who takes it up for the first down and more.
I believe that was the number 20, Caleb Johnson.
You were right, good call.
Just a little fake handoff, a little screen swing. We saw that earlier for a big play. And once again, another big play and good yardage for the Lancers to get a first down there.
It was Holmes in the backfield on the fake handoff, but Johnson with a gain of 8, short of the first down. I thought he had it. 2 running backs in the backfield, 1 to either side of Hill. Low snap. He'll give the handoff here, and it'll be shy of the first down.
Nope, they gave it to him.
Wow. I cannot get it right on this drive. Again, it's Thompson on the carry. Just falling forward for the first down. See, the Bears have gone to some of the reserves on defense. Peter Celestino out there at DB. He's one of them. Or he was on the last play, not now. Oh, there he is. Looks like he's lined up in the slot. Lined up on Lance Williams, who had that impressive touchdown catch earlier in the game. and smoked by the Bears. That was big number 34, Jaden Barron, the freshman linebacker from Wellesley Chapel, Florida.
Just a little counter here. Takes a step to his right, but then absolutely drilled by Barron.
He didn't see him in that area, and Barron laying the hammer. This will be a good opportunity for the Bears to see what some of their freshmen and younger players can do, as Barron made that big play, and bringing down the running back Thompson there was Joseph Parisi.
Same thing, just a counter to the outside. And yeah, big number 99, Parisi, able to make the tackle.
Again, we're seeing some low snaps for the Lancers. It hasn't been as consistently bad as it was earlier in the game, but still something they're going to want to clean up going forward, especially in conference play. As Hill drops back, looks to pass, swatted at the line, put up in the air and dropped.
Bears say they have it. I think they got it. I think the Bears have it.
The big defensive lineman, Glenn Sharp, thinks he has it, but I believe he'll whistle it incomplete. A couple big boys for the Bears had a chance at that one as it was swatted into the air, and I believe a Lancers lineman had a shot at it as well. We'll see what the official call is. One of the refs was signaling like it was incomplete. Defensive lineman getting a pick, I hope he got it. You just love to see that. You don't get a chance to see that often at all. We'll see what the call is here.
The ruling on the field is a completed catch. It's 4th down.
So we'll see it here. Low snap again, gets tipped right at the line, just bobbled around, and it looks like a Worcester State player came up with that.
Thompson was wrestling it on the ground out of the hands of Glenn Sharp. And everyone here in the press box, including the BSU coaches who are sitting over to my left, thought that Sharp had the interception. But it'll be a completed pass somehow, some way. The Lancers able to get a hold of that. And now it's 4th and 2.
Just unfortunate for the Lancers. They get a completed pass off a bobble and they still have to punt it.
It could have been worse, as the kick will take a slow roll down within the 10, and looks like it'll be down right before the 5. Back there to return was Dakari Rodriguez, the sophomore defensive back. And right now they're spotting it at the 5 off the 52-yard punt by Sacco.
Mark your calendars for the Bears' next home game, all the way on November 2nd.
Bears not back home for almost a month. November 2nd against Fitchburg State will be the next time we're back with you for a Bears football game. 1st and 10 from the 5-yard line are the Bears. SP Pregano's coming to the game now. That'll do it for Jaden Moseley. And now the Bears have plenty of space on the handoff. It's Askew taking it all the way downfield. Nobody able to catch him. And it's a touchdown. Zy'Kie Askew, the freshman, with a 95-yard rushing touchdown on his second carry of the game.
As we can see here in the replay, Askew was just able to find a hole, and he does not look back after breaking a tackle, just takes it to the house. Nobody was going to stop Askew from getting his touchdown. My goodness.
Askew, a very similar player to Isaiah Wright in both build and play style and in speed as well. Both of them around that 5'5", 5'6" range. And despite being relatively smaller, not afraid of contact, Askew showed off the burst there for the 95-yard house call.
And doing that as a freshman, that I'll get your name out there.
On homecoming, too, in front of this crowd, especially when the RB1 and the RB2 are set to graduate this year. That's a good look for the freshman Askew. Trying to get some extra reps. You should have seen the reaction to our left by the BSU coaches box. They were up screaming. I don't know if we were able to pick that up on the mic. I hope we were, but they were very excited to see the freshman crib that on what was just his second carry of the game.
I'm just in shock. That was insane.
Sideline warning.
That was
Bridgewater State.
Bridgewater's going to get a sideline warning here. That last rush by Zy'Kie Askew, the longest rush of all time for the BSU Bears, 95 yards. The previous record was 88 yards, and that was in 2003. So Zy'Kie Askew wasn't even born when that record was set, and now he comes on and breaks it here.
Actually, funny enough, that play you just mentioned, 88-yarder, Andy Breams, also versus Worcester State.
So over 20 years apart, a Bears record set against Worcester State is broken against them here, thanks to the freshman Askew on an incredible, explosive run.
I wasn't even alive the last time the longest play happened. Think about that.
Neither was he. He just broke a record that took place before he was even born.
Oh,
Zy'Kie Askew in just his freshman year wouldn't be born until about 2 or 3 years after that record was set.
just wow.
2 carries and one of them for 95 yards. My goodness, we've seen some great plays on both sides of the ball. The big touchdown by McCarthy, the touchdown by Lance Williams, and now a 95-yard house call by the freshman Zy'Kie Askew. It has been a fantastic game. The last 2 games for the Bears, so far, it combined 83 points with only 7 given up. Of course, the Lancers will get the ball back here with 2:45 left to play in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I mean, before all this, they couldn't even get over 17 points. And we saw last week they had 41. And then they just broke it today with 42 now.
So the Bears looking to take this momentum onto their upcoming road trip. Like we said before that play, they won't be back until November 2nd, a little bit less than a month from today. As that one's taken by the return man. Making a cut, taking it up the sideline. He's got some space, finally brought down. On the return for the Lancers, rather. It looks like it was Ricky LeBoy, the freshman running back, number 30. As he made some good moves, and it looked for a second like he might have a chance at this. The Bears special teams able to rally and take him down by his shirt.
That was Jaden Barron with the saving tackle, most likely.
We saw Jaden Barron show off some power laying out Nico Holmes earlier in the game, and now with a potential, like you said, touchdown saving tackle. Not that it matters necessarily, but still, I'd like to see the effort nonetheless. First and 10, ball on the 37. And a new face under center here for the Lancers. Adam Hill is headed to the bench. It's Jaden Karen.
No, that's number 12, MJ Bacazia, the sophomore.
You're right. That makes so much more sense than what I was rating. Number 17's a linebacker. I thought it was a 7. It's a 12. So the sophomore now under center here for the Lancers. As Hill taking himself on the read option for the first down.
Both teams right now kind of just subbing in their sophomore, freshmen, their younger guys, just to get them some reps.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
There's like the 2-minute warning right here.
Bacazia, the sophomore from Connecticut. 1:57 left on the clock. Bears lead 42-7. That's a combined 83 points to to just 7 given up in their last 2 games. Of course, the Lancers have a chance to add to that with less than 2 minutes to go. We'll see how the sophomore handles the 2-minute drill. Be a good chance to test some things out, as this crowd is very excited here on homecoming. We didn't know what this game was going to look like. Obviously, the Bears struggled early in the season, just picked up their first win last week against Framingham State, and now about to pick up their second of the season, giving them 2 wins in the conference. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line for the Lancers. Handoff, not going to get much.
Looks like number 32, Sam Grew, with the carry, his first carry of the night. Tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but we'll get maybe a yard or so on that carry. But it's another 3rd and long for the Lancers.
So 2nd and 8 from the 49-yard line for the Lancers. 3rd and 8.
It is 2nd down. We did say 3rd down on that sideline.
Quarterback drops back, looking deep. He'll hit his man to move the chains. Not sure who that was down the far sideline. We get the replay for you right here. Piqueza just dropping back, letting one fly.
It looks to be 83 Joey Christian, sophomore from Vernon, Connecticut, with a nice reception on the sideline there, able to stay in bounds.
The sophomores from Connecticut link up for first reception of the game for Joey Christian. 2 wide to either side of the quarterback, Piqueza. He'll drop the handoff. Another new running back there. It's Ricky LeBoy with his first carry of the game. We saw him take a return a little bit ago, but that's the first time we've seen him work out of the backfield. 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard carry by the freshman.
Right now, the Lancers kind of just swapping between a lot of their young guys. Earlier in this game, I counted, they have 19 freshmen on this roster.
That's quite a lot, as a deep shot for the end zone off the hands of his wide receiver. He was looking for Griffin Kinnery, the sophomore from Farmington, another Connecticut man. Incomplete. Get the replay here as Piqueza just drops back and lets one fly for Kinnery, and it looked for a second like he might have 6. But he drops it. 28 seconds left. 3rd and 6 from the 30.
Looked to be number 45, who we don't even have on the roster.
Piqueza hands this one off. And pushing the pile a little bit are the Lancers. We'll see the exact spot of the ball.
It's pretty much going to wrap it up here, though.
Yeah, we don't have 45 on the roster or the depth chart. So apologies to whoever that is, but I'm not quite sure, as that'll do it for the game. Bears walk away with a victory here, 42-7. Their second straight home victory and second straight MASCAC victory as well. The Bears with yet another homecoming win and a total of 27 all time against the Worcester State Lancers. That'll do it from us here at BSN on BTV. My name's Luke Mansfield.
And my name's Zach Sylvia.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember to be safe and enjoy this homecoming weekend. And every day is a great day to be a Bear. We'll see you again soon.